I won't fight that fucking animal. In early 1987, the boxing world was shocked by sensational news. Legendary George Foreman, who spent the last 10 years enjoying his time outside the ring, writing books and even becoming a preacher, announced his return to the ring. At that time, Big George was already 38 years old, which, coupled with more than a solid break after his last fight, gave analysts a reason to be extremely skeptical about the success of his comeback. But George didn't care about the opinions of experts. At that time, he was in need of money, and he knew where to get it. His first opponent after such a long time was journeyman Steve Zowski, who was knocked out in the 4th round. It showed that the break changed not only George's personality, but also his style. The aggressive slugger turned into a prudent boxer-puncher. For 2 years, from March 1987 to July 1989, the veteran had 18 victorious fights, 17 of which he won by knockout. Only journeyman Everett Martin, known for his endurance, went the distance against Big George, although he was on the floor of the ring in the 8th round. George began in 1990 with a fight against a strong ex-contender for the world title, Jerry Cooney. Despite the fact that he didn't enter the ring for 3 years, he was considered to be a dangerous opponent for the 41-year-old Foreman. The 34-year-old Jerry was a very tough puncher who had only lost twice before the fight against George, to Larry Holmes and Michael Spinks. The first round brought Cooney local success when he was able to shock the veteran with a powerful left hook. But in the next 3-minute period, Big George removed all questions regarding the winner, twice sending his opponent to the floor of the ring. After the second fall, the referee decided to end the fight, even without starting the countdown. After this fight, Cooney ended his career, and George started his way to the championship title. February 1990 began with perhaps the biggest sensation in the history of world boxing. The absolute world heavyweight champion Mike Tyson was expectedly knocked out by James Buster Douglas.
What an uppercut by Douglas.
Down goes Tyson.
It's over.
Tyson's promoter, Don King, who wanted a win on the return of his client in a fight against a famous opponent who he will surely be able to defeat, turned towards George Foreman. But only Iron Mike himself did not share the optimistic mood of his promoter. According to an article by journalist Franco Latirzo, Tyson was afraid of Big George and refused to go into the ring against him. I won't fight that fucking animal. If you love that bastard so much, then fight him yourself, he shouted to Don King. It is noteworthy that even 2 years before that, the first rumors about a possible Tyson-Foreman fight circulated. But, like this time, things did not go further than rumors. According to insiders, in 1988, Mike's coach Kevin Rooney categorically opposed such a fight, saying that the peekaboo style was completely ineffective against Foreman. After winning 4 more fights against mediocre opponents, on April 19, 1991, George entered the ring for the title of Absolute World Heavyweight Champion, owned by the formidable Evander Holyfield. Few pundits gave the 42-year-old veteran a chance against an undefeated champion who was a full 13 years younger than Big George. But Foreman, who approached this fight in great shape, managed to shut the mouths of all the skeptics, putting up a very worthy resistance to his younger opponent. Evander noticeably outperformed his opponent in speed and delivered more accurate blows, while George relied on accuracy and strength.
And almost paid the price. I think more punches from Foreman, and Holyfield absorbs it in the middle of the ring in the 7th round. But watch him come back. The rest we talked about, and let's see if he gathers himself and comes back. Time and again against Michael Dokes and Alex Stewart. Punches. He's letting George throw punches bouncing off the gloves of Holyfield as he lands.
The 7th round, when the boxers exchanged powerful hits, was named the Round of the Year by famous magazine The Ring.
And Holyfield landing inside.
One punch after another.
What punch after another? He's got Foreman wobbly. This may be the round they talk.
He's proven. I hope nobody ever says that again about him. He's proven the other with Holyfield is unbelievable.
And I can't tell you how incredibly...
From the $100 seats.
And Holyfield coming on strong again. What a round.
Despite good boxing and a very good physical shape for his age, Big George was unable to defeat the young lion at the peak of his abilities. And Holyfield got a fully deserved victory by unanimous decision of the judges.
And Holyfield scores on a combination of 3. Foreman tries to come back, but he still has landed more punches. And another right and a left from Holyfield. And one to the body from Holyfield. Big bomb. But he lands a right. If it goes to a decision and if Holyfield wins it to retain the title, I still marvel at what George... And Holyfield comes on strong with a combination. And after that rest, Holyfield tries. The O's to its feet to applaud that.
He was the toughest puncher I've ever fought. When he hit me in the 11th round, I returned to my corner. The first thing I asked Coach was, "Are my teeth in place?" He hit harder than anyone else, Evander recalled years later. 3 victorious fights allowed Foreman to get closer to the fight for the championship title again. On June 7, 1993, George entered the ring against 24-year-old Tommy Morrison. At stake was the vacant WBO title, which was abandoned by its previous owner, Michael Moorer. The young boxer had a very smart fight against the legendary veteran, acting as number 2.
Morrison punches back. Morrison's low blow from Foreman and a good left hook by Morrison. And a right hand land.
Due to the advantage in speed, he delivered more accurate blows, and in the event of a threat, he tied his opponent in a clinch in a timely manner, or simply dodged punches, forcing the opponent to miss. At the end of 12 rounds, the judges unanimously gave the victory to Tommy Morrison. Morrison gave me a real boxing lesson. He beat me without question, staying away from my powerful punches, the veteran said about the fight. Despite another defeat, Big George got one more chance to get the championship belt. On November 5, 1994, the 45-year-old Foreman entered the ring against WBA and IBF title holder Michael Moorer. Few doubted that the 26-year-old southpaw, who had won all of his 35 professional fights, would beat the veteran. Moorer won his titles by confidently outboxing Evander Holyfield, and many, not without reason, believed that the aging Foreman wouldn't cause him a lot of problems. The beginning of the fight caused despair amongst numerous admirers of the talent of Big George. One boxer was present in the ring, and his name was Michael Moorer. The young champion circled non-stop around his opponent and scored points with lightning-fast counterattacks. The veteran missed a lot and at the same time acted very passively, which caused bewilderment among many fans. Over time, Moorer began to act more aggressively, stopping in front of his opponent. "Don't stand in front of him, he's dangerous," famous Teddy Atlas almost begged his boxer during breaks. Michael did not listen to his coach's advice, continuing to score points due to his superiority in speed, and acting more sharply and self-confidently. After distracting his opponent, in the 10th round, George went for the classic double, and then repeated it. The second hit right on target, and Moorer went down, unable to take a vertical position before the end of the referee's count.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The winner, and once again, heavyweight champion of the world, Big George Foreman.
Even before the fight, I knew that I could not win on points. I managed to implement my plan for the fight. I planned to win by knockout, the happy winner will say later. At the age of 45, exactly 20 years after losing to Muhammad Ali, George Foreman regained the championship title, proving that age is just a number. With this, friends, we end our review. I hope you found it interesting and informative. If so, support our channel with your likes and reposts. And thanks for watching. See you all soon. Bye.